Over the years, there have been any number of bidding strategies available on the Google Ads platform. You could find one that would fit just about any metric that you wanted. Over the past couple of years, Google has limited the number of bidding strategies that it has in the accounts, but not really limited the function. They just work a little bit differently than they did. So in this video, I want to walk you through all of the available bidding strategies and a number of their augmentations as of the recording of this video. As I mentioned in the intro, there is going to be a Google Ads bidding strategy that will fit just about any objective that you have for your campaigns. And based on that statement, plus some organization of Google's help articles, I think it makes the most sense to actually focus on the bid strategies based on the objective that they're trying to achieve. So the first two bid strategies we're going to talk about are when you try to focus on clicks of your ads. As we're going through these, I'm going to go back and forth between the interface and the slides so that I can show you how to set these up, what the different controls are in the interface, and then we'll talk about them on the slide afterward. So to talk about the first click-focused bid strategy, let's jump into a new campaign build in a Google Ads account. To walk through each of these, we're just going to get started by clicking on the Create New Campaign, create a new one. Unless otherwise specified, I'm going to use Create a Campaign Without a Goals Guidance, so we have all the control, and I'm going to use a search campaign because the vast majority of these bid strategies are compatible with search. When we first arrive on this screen, based on our account settings and performance and history, it defaults us to optimize for conversions. But to get started, we're just going to click from the dropdown. You can see here that there is a recommended section. Again, because of the account setup, Google suggests that we bid on conversions and conversion value. We'll get to that in a little bit. For now, we're going to switch this over to clicks. What does that mean? What bid strategy have we opted into? This is going to be the maximize clicks bidding strategy. This is an automated bid strategy, and the goal is for Google to try and get as many clicks as possible while spending your full budget every single day. So think about that from both sides. Whatever daily budget you set, Google is going to try and spend that entire thing and get you as many clicks as possible in the mix. Its first priority is to spend the budget. The second is to get the cost per click as low as possible so it can have as many clicks. This is eligible for search, display, discovery, and demand gen campaigns. And as you might have noticed, in the interface, you can set a maximum CPC bid limit to control the upper level bids. To do that, you just need to check this box right here, and you'll see now we have a maximum CPC bid limit. So if you want to get as many clicks as possible within your daily budget, but you know that you don't want to pay more than $1 for each click, all you have to do is add $1 into this field. And now Google will not bid over that $1 to get you as many clicks, but it will still do its best to spend the entire daily budget, get as many clicks as possible, but now it just has an upper limit of how high it can bid. The second type of bid strategy that focuses on clicks is unfortunately a little bit hidden. You'll notice that in this setup, the only options that I have are to choose from the fully automated bid strategies from Google Ads. I'll be honest, while I was getting ready to record this video, this came as a bit of a surprise to me. It's not offering you all of the options that you actually have available. Let me show you. I already created another staged campaign that doesn't have anything in it. And we're going to navigate to that campaign and go to the Settings tab. Then I'm going to expand the bidding section here. You can see the default option that I opted into is that maximize clicks that we already talked about. If I then come to change bid strategy, I'm offered again, what do I want to focus on? This dropdown looks the same as it did during the account setup. But if I come down to this link down here where it says, or select a bid strategy directly, which is not recommended, I'm going to have a few other options. Right now it defaults to maximize clicks, but if I open this window and I go all the way down to the bottom, you can see manual CPC is down here, where you set your own maximum cost per click for your ads. There's a secondary option here for enhanced CPC. We'll get to that in a minute. But manual bidding was the original bidding strategy that we had available for all of our campaigns. With manual bids, you get to set the maximum bid for each click. You'll remember in the maximize clicks bidding strategy, I set that at the campaign level. For manual CPC, you get to set your maximum bid level at the ad group and keyword level. So if you have one keyword that's more valuable than the other, you can bid higher on that keyword and bid lower on others. You're still only going to be charged when somebody clicks on the ad, and you can use these for search and display campaigns. And the other benefit to this is that all of the bid modifier layers, whether they're device, audience, any of those other layers, are going to be honored. With the maximize click strategy, you don't have all of that control. But with this control comes more responsibility on your side. Manual CPC requires regular reviews and adjustments based on performance. The automated bid strategies from Google, like Maximize Clicks, will always take into account lots of different real-time and trending data to get the best performance based on which bid strategy you choose. With manual CPC, it's all on you. Having that control is great, but you've got to review the performance regularly to make sure you're moving the needle in the right direction. But as a last takeaway, if you don't see manual CPC bidding in your campaign setup flow, go ahead and set up everything on a Maximize Click strategy, launch the campaign as paused, and then go back to your campaign settings later and change into the manual CPC strategy if that's the one you want to use. The next batch of bidding strategies is going to be focusing on conversions, and we just saw a teaser for what the next one is going to be. When we originally came on this screen, I unchecked this box that says help increase conversions with enhanced CPC, but this is the next strategy I want to talk about, enhanced CPC. The controls that you have here are to optimize for conversions or optimize for conversion value, and you'll always get this little alert that says that utilizing manual bids may result in lower performance because Google really wants you to use their automated bid strategies. But effectively, enhanced CPC is manual CPC with a little bit of an augmentation. When you use enhanced CPC, Google can raise your bids above your original manual cost per click bid for bids that are more likely to lead to a conversion, and it can lower the bid for clicks that seem less likely to convert. This is what I would consider a middle ground between the manual bidding strategies and the fully automated conversion-focused strategies that we'll get to in a minute. So if you've been seeing some success with manual CPC, or if you're looking to try and dip your toe in the water of an automated bid strategy, enhanced CPC can be a great way to do it. Additionally, if you're not seeing good performance with your conversion-focused campaigns, and you need to revert back to something more manual where you have more control, enhanced CPC can be a good middle ground to make sure that you're still trying to lean into some of your conversion performance, but you still have the control that you want on all the other levers. Enhanced CPC is available on the search, display, and hotel campaign types, but conversion tracking is required. There's no way for Google to optimize your bids for each click based on the likelihood of a conversion if they don't have conversion data. This continues to utilize all of the bid modifiers, just like manual CPC does, and it requires all of the optimizations that manual does as well. You'll want to regularly look at performance, make sure that you're adjusting your bids up or down based on the performance that you're seeing. One of the limitations here is that although Google is trying to optimize your bid for conversion performance, whether it's conversions or conversion value, you cannot set a target for CPA or ROAS. Google's just going to do its best to try and get better performance for each, and you have to hope that that's in the realm of what type of performance target you're looking for. If you do need to have specific controls over what your target CPA or target ROAS are, we've got some bidding strategies for you coming up in a minute. For now, let's shift back to a fully automated bid strategy, again, focusing on conversions. I'm back in the campaign builder from scratch, so we have less to blur out. But the next bidding strategy we're going to talk about is where you only focus on conversions. You don't have any other augmentation, that's all. So in the interface it looks like this, but what it's called is Maximize Conversions. This is going to feel similar to Maximize Clicks in that Google is trying to spend your entire daily budget, but rather than focusing on clicks, it's trying to get you the most conversions possible while using that entire daily budget. Just like every other bidding strategy in this conversion focus section, you must have conversion tracking in place for this to work. And this is compatible with most campaign types. The only thing is, you have very little control outside of just telling Google to get as many conversions as possible and spend my daily budget. The only bid modifier that is honored is if you put a negative 100% modifier on a device, meaning you don't want to bid on tablets or mobile devices, something like that. Otherwise, Google takes the reins. No matter what you have in the account as a bid modifier or anything else, it'll be ignored. You also do not have the option to add in any sort of target performance on the Maximize Conversions bid strategy. Now, while that might seem a little scary, Maximize Conversions can perform really well for accounts that have lots of conversion performance and healthy daily budgets. Just like anything else with machine learning, the more data, the better. And if I'm starting a new campaign that I want to eventually roll into a target CPA campaign, I usually start it on Maximize Conversions to get some data flowing through first, and then implement the target CPA. Speaking of target CPA, let's go ahead and start looking at that. Technically, target CPA bidding is just a subset of the maximize conversions bid strategy. You'll leave this focus on conversions, and then you'll check the box under set a target CPA. And then the only control you have is to add in the target CPA that you want to use for your campaigns. For this account, $100 makes sense. Google has no warnings about it. But sometimes if you set a target CPA that's too low, Google will have a warning for you, basically telling you that based on your conversion performance in the past, it does not think that this number is realistic, and you might want to adjust. I'm a really big fan of target CPA bidding. I think it can really help you focus your performance on the right type of profitability that you need. The one big difference with a target CPA bid strategy that's unlike any of the other fully automated bid strategies for conversion focus is that you can adjust your target CPA by device. Meaning if you want to bid for a $125 CPA on computers, but a $75 CPA on mobile devices, you can do that. This is the only automated bid strategy where you can have that level of control. Everything else is pretty much just an auto opt-out on devices, and all other bid modifiers are ignored. The next bidding strategy I want to talk about is maximize conversion value. In the dropdown, it's just going to be the other option as opposed to conversions. We're going to focus on conversion value. And this is going to be maximize conversion value as the bid strategy. Overall, it's going to function very similar to a maximize conversions bidding strategy, but rather than trying to get as many conversions as possible, it's going to try and get you as much conversion value as it possibly can while spending your daily budget. All of the other attributes are going to be the same. The biggest difference here is that you need to have conversions that have values associated with them for Google to optimize toward. This has been a recent push that Google has, and they suggest that you have values associated with all of your conversion actions, even if they're estimates for a lead generation account, let's say, because any of these additional pieces you can use opens up a new bidding strategy and potentially a new realm of positive performance in your account. Just like the maximize conversions bid strategy, the maximize conversion value also has an augmentation that lets you set a target, and this one is a target return on ad spend, or target ROAS. Just like with the other one, all you have to do is check the box, and then you can add in your percentage return that you want to get from the campaign in this box here. 300% is a pretty common ROAS we see from a lot of different people that we work with, so we add that in here. But you can see here that Google has given us a warning that before we set a target ROAS, we need to wait until the account has conversion tracking that's received 15 conversions in the last 30 days. This language is a little misleading. This account has plenty of conversion actions within the past 30 days. The problem is we don't have any values associated to these leads. That's why we didn't see the error pop up when we set a target CPA bid strategy, but we are with target ROAS. If your account is not tracking conversion value, you'll likely see a warning that looks like this. And although some Google warnings are a little bit self-serving, like the one that we saw that manual CPC might lead to lower results, that's very self-serving for Google. This one is not. If Google does not know the values associated with your conversions, it cannot optimize for conversion value. Just the same way it can't optimize for conversions without conversion tracking. So make sure that you have both conversion tracking and appropriate values set up before you start utilizing either maximize conversion value or a target ROAS bidding strategy. All of the characteristics of a target ROAS bid strategy are going to be very similar to a target CPA, where it's going to try and spend the budget every single day, but it's only going to do so if it can hit the right target ROAS. Your individual conversions might fluctuate on the actual return on ad spend, but overall, your performance should hit the targets that you're looking for, or maybe even be a little bit under it. It's compatible with most campaign types, and you're able to use only the negative 100% bid modifiers. Now let's start to talk about focusing on metrics that are outside of conversions. Some campaigns are designed really just to get eyes on an ad creative, a brand message, a logo. And for those, we have a handful of bidding strategies that focus just on visibility. Back in our staged search campaign, the first one I'm going to focus on is going to be impression share bidding. This is again a fully automated bid strategy from Google Ads. And you can see there are a handful of different controls that we get to choose. First, you can decide where you want your ads to appear. That can be anywhere on the page, which basically just means your basic search impression share number. The top of the results page, meaning in the highest set of ads on the page, or absolute top of results page, formerly known as position 1, but basically this means I want to be in the first ad anybody's going to see on the page. Now that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be at the very top of the page. Some search results page, the first set of ads is on the bottom of the page. You'll be at the top of that section, it's just at the bottom of the page. But you can choose any of these 3 different locations first. You can then choose the target impression share that you want to bid toward. Impression share is a percentage, so your range can be 0 to 100%. But I would pretty much always suggest that you maximize your bidding strategy anywhere between maybe 95 and 98%. Even on brand terms, in my experience, when Google is trying to optimize for 100% impression share compared to 98% impression share, your bids can get way out of control when it's trying to get that last incremental 2%. If you're at 98% on your brand terms, I would probably suggest taking the win and just leave it at that. But if you do want to try and combine your maximizing impression share along with some limitations, you can set a maximum CPC bid limit. So let's say you want to get 98% impression share, but you're only willing to spend $5 a click. Depending on which keywords you're bidding on, this could be a great setup. Others, this might be laughably impossible, but you have lots of control when you're trying to focus on impression share bidding for your search campaigns. We already covered the main 3 points on this page. The only other thing I want to call out is that this only honors the 100% negative device bid modifier, just like all of the other fully automated bid strategies. The next bidding strategies I want to talk about for viewability are going to be based on impressions, and they're compatible with display and YouTube. So I'm creating another placeholder campaign, still without a goals guidance. We're going to use display. We'll skip over the original campaign settings, go to budget and bidding. In the bidding section, we got opted into maximize conversions, but if I change the bid strategy, I get to choose what I want to focus on. And here I can go for conversions, conversion value, or our new bidding strategy, viewable impressions. And when I was hovered over that, you'll see that viewable impressions are when a user sees 50% of your ad or more for 1 second. We do have another video that talks about a handful of the viewability metrics in Google Ads. If you're interested in learning more, you can check out the video at the top of the screen right now. But for viewable impressions, you get to enter the bid that you want for the viewable impressions for your ad group. If you're bidding on impressions rather than clicks or conversions, you're likely trying to get the word out to a specific group of users or a wide range of people, and all you want them to do is just see the ad. Ideally, you already have a number in mind of what is a right cost per viewable 1,000 impressions. But if not, the best guidance I can give is to find the values for the impressions that you're seeing in your existing display campaigns and start from there. You can also simply come in, type in a number. I would suggest starting low and then adjust your bids as you need to have more or less volume coming through the campaigns. Viewable impressions are effectively a manual bidding strategy, and the only control you have is what you just saw in the account, where you can set the highest amount that you're willing to pay for 1,000 viewable impressions. And the last bidding strategy for visibility that we're going to focus on is compatible with YouTube campaigns. So let's go ahead and set one up from here. We're going to use brand awareness and reach, video. We're going to choose non-skippable reach as the way that we would like to reach our goal. And now in the bid strategy section, you can see that we are set up to target CPM, where you get to set the average amount you're willing to pay for every 1,000 impressions that your ad is shown. This is the default bid strategy. As you can see here, you cannot shift away from this. But just like with the other bidding strategies, some groups of 1,000 impressions might be more or less expensive than the target that you set, which coincidentally is set all the way at the end of the campaign setup. But you're effectively telling Google the target amount that you would like to spend for every 1,000 impressions. This will feel pretty similar to viewable CPM, where you're trying to bid for just the impressions. Biggest difference here is that it doesn't take into account the viewability of your ad, meaning it doesn't care if you can see 50% of your ad for at least 1 second. It's just if the ad was served on a page or in a video, anything like that. Now, while that might sound like a bad idea, in some campaigns, like the one we just looked at, target CPM is the only bidding strategy you have available. So it's important to know how it works. Even if it might not be exactly the one that you would choose, it's still the one that you're going to default to for some specific campaign types. The last set of bidding strategies that we want to talk about are specific to YouTube, and that's focusing on views or interactions with your campaigns. This bidding type is only available for the product and brand consideration or brand awareness and reach campaign objective. I'm going to use brand awareness and reach, select video, and then I'm going to choose add sequence. Click continue. And then a bid strategy section, we can come down and choose away from target CPM and opt into maximum cost per view. Now we're setting the most that we're willing to pay for each view on our videos. One thing I do want to highlight is that this is for views or interactions. So this will be a view, which is when someone watches 30 seconds of your video, or the duration of a video under 30 seconds, or any of the interactions with the clicks on CTA overlays, cards, and banners, and you're charged based on whichever happens first. So if somebody clicks on the ad within the first 2 seconds, you pay for that. Or if they simply watch the entire duration of a 29-second video, you'll pay for that, so on and so forth. As you can tell, there are tons of different bidding strategies available on the Google Ads platform. Whether you want to focus on impressions, clicks, conversions, conversion value, or certain profitability metrics, there's probably a bid strategy that will help you optimize for that. Now, I might not have gone through all of the tiny nuances of which campaign types support each type of bidding strategy, but hopefully this video has given you a better understanding of how each bidding strategy works and the type of controls you should have within them, so that when you're setting up your campaigns, you see the list of all of the available bidding options, or just the one. You'll at least have a better understanding of how it works, so you can make sure that you're setting up the right campaign with the right bidding strategy to achieve the goals that you want for your account. If you have any other questions on any of the Google Ads bidding strategy or anything else on the Google Ads platform, leave us a note in the comments. Thanks for watching our video. We really appreciate it. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up below. If you really liked it, maybe think about subscribing to the Paid Media Pros YouTube channel and you'll get alerted every time a new video drops.
If you really liked it, you can help support the channel by checking out some of the t-shirts that we're wearing on our merch shelf, as well as looking at the Super Thanks button.